So a little bit about our background and kind of how we met. Sherman and I are line sisters, so shout out to the 60, the Illmatic 60. We pledged at Tennessee State University. We're proud, very proud HBCU graduates. So that's a little bit of background on us. And Charmin owns Creative Girls Rock. And so yeah, so today we'll talk a lot about Creative Girls Rock because I want to learn more. I saw you hosted a really beautiful sneaker ball this past year, and I want to hear more about that. I want you to tell us more about that later on, but yeah, so let's get into it. So our first question, Charmin, is, so I asked you, how are you? But tell us more about Creative Girls Rock. How did it come about? Yeah.
Yeah, so Creative Girls Rock was really birthed from my passion for creativity, the arts and crafts that I did growing up. Like I've just always been hands-on, thinking outside the box, and I loved color. I love though, if you can see, it's so many colors, but I love that. And so all that to say is that that's kind of been a part of, my life again, growing up. And it was my, in my adulthood a couple years ago, I moved after we graduated. I moved to New York and did the whole fashion industry thing. That was my major at TSU. And then I came back to Nashville to get my master's, and that transition coming back from New York, so it was tough.
Yeah, I remember when you lived in New York.
And I had to kind of build my way back up. You're going from one style, making X amount of dollars to not even making half, and then going back to school. So that was tough for me. And in that place, like, it was really tough. But in that place, that's where like Creative Girls Rock started. Starting to do, different art projects because that brought peace to me. I was an element. So I just, I thought somebody was waiting, but I started doing that. It was a lot doing more crafts and finding the peace and like therapy I needed through that process. And I was like, you know what? Let me see, because it's other women that value stuff like that. So let me see, let me try and do an organization that's surrounded by creativity. And it was a Saturday morning. I'll never forget, because every Saturday I would watch Say Yes to the Dress for hours. So while watching Say Yes to the Dress, I thought of the name Creative Girls Rock. And, that was heavily influenced by, Black Girls Rock and everything. But I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm Black and I'm creative too, so Creative Girls Rock. And I did some research to see if that was a name that was already taken, and it wasn't. And I immediately jumped on it. I'm like, okay, I want a creativegirlsrock.org, I want to get a trademark and everything, and like really own it. If I'm going to go after this thing, that's going to be mine. Nobody will be able to take that from me. And I started the whole process in 2017. I did my own, trademark. My website, I have no website experience whatsoever, but I used Squarespace and just used the templates and just started playing around with stuff and did my, own website. I didn't want to form an organization where I'm promoting do-it-yourself, DIY projects if I wasn't willing to put in the work for my brand. Anybody can pay somebody to do their website, but that's thousands of dollars that I've saved just having the creativity to build my own, because that's I built it. And so to the trademark, paying $1,000 for a lawyer, all the information you need is on United States Patent and Trademark Office.org. Literally, like, probably the best government websites. Like, they have videos and things you can read and stuff like that, and documents and everything you can read. But all that to say, it was like that process, like growing Creative